Alrighty, in today's video, we are going to be talking about the top growth stocks to buy this December. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys get anything in value, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And guys, don't forget to check out my course if you guys want to learn more about investing and trading in the stock market. I'll put a link to that down below so you guys can check it out. So all of these stocks, in my opinion, are fantastic. Some of them carry, an outlook of like a year or 2 years. Some of them are more of a swing trade that offer like a 2 to 3 week opportunity to get in on a fair price, hold it on a support, and make a decent profit. So the very first one is Square, ticker symbol SQ. You can see it has this resistance at about 279 and support at near and around 200. So you can see every time it hits this 200 mark, we get a lot of buying pressure there. So it hits it, boom, boom, several times, right? That represents a very strong support for the stock. Now, given that the stock has sold off from the highs, just right at around 25%, hitting this support, this brings a good opportunity to buy in on a pretty fair price for support. So meaning if you hop in right now at about 212, set your stops just under 200, you're virtually risking, possibly about 10% to have this come back up to resistance to possibly make about 23. So your risk and reward is right at about 2-to-1, which is pretty solid, especially for Square, a stock that carries a ton of long-term potential in the fintech sector. Just definitely want to keep an eye on, hold, and just let it ride. Now, moving on to stock number 2 is one that I've talked about so much. It's SoFi. And you can see we've had this beautiful resistance at about 24 and support near around 15. But I personally think that support's going to be changing, and it's going to be using this yellow line that represents the 200 moving average line. You can see it's hit it several times back, a couple of months ago. I really think that given that the stock has not fallen through it, and you can see these two green candles, this is going to be representing a decent opportunity for a swing trade, especially if you hop in right now, set your stops just below it. You're risking 7% to possibly have this come back up to the highs, which is about 25%. So you're virtually risking, 3-to-1, which is pretty decent for a swing trade. Now, the next one is another one that we've talked about a lot. It's ticker symbol S. You can see this has that beautiful upward trend with the support right on this trend line. You can see the candlestick is a doji, I believe it's what it's called. But this represents an overall reversal candle. So meaning you can see this wick down in here that represents a lot of buying pressure. So I really think we'll get a push back up to at least some highs right here at about 77, which is about a 25% return. And then the risk would be about 8%, which is still pretty decent, about 2.5 to 1, which is pretty good. Now, another one, this is going to be one that's more of a higher risk, higher reward trade, just because, yes, we have that upward trend, but lately we've had this major sell-off right at about 40% off its highs. So for me, all I'm doing, this is going to be one that has that outlook of right at about 2 to 3 years. Just picking up a few more shares. I bought some at this dip just at about 200. Given that it sold off a little bit more, I'm just going to be averaging down on my position. I understand it's a little more risky, but overall still carries a lot of reward. PayPal is not going anywhere anytime soon, and it's just one to take a little stab at, understand higher risk, higher reward, and go from there. Now, another one is ticker symbol OKTA. Now, this one in general, this is a cybersecurity company that we talked about, a couple weeks ago now. You can see it does have that resistance right at about $278, support near and around 200 to 210. You can see it's hit it multiple times, establishing that very strong support. Given that the stock sold off down to about 210 and is slowly moving its way back up, this is pretty much almost a confirmation that the stock is using that as support. So if it comes back up to a minimum resistance of 20%, you're virtually risking 6% to make 20%, which is an awesome risk and reward. Not to mention, this one just carries a lot of long-term potential just because of the overall sector it's in the cybersecurity sector there. So I really think this is going to be one to hold for a while. The last and final one is Crowdstrike, another cybersecurity company. You can see beautiful upward trend, hits that 200 moving average line, establishing that support. You can see it's hit it several times. We'll actually circle it out so you can see it. So it hit it right in here, boom. It hit it right in here. boom, establishing a very strong support near and around that 200 moving average line, given that the stock sold off near and around it. Hopping in right now at about 232. You could set your stops at 220. You're virtually risking, 6% to have this come back up to highs, which is about 20%, which is a great risk and reward. So all of these carry a lot of potential, some for the short term. Some of these cybersecurity companies are fantastic holds for the long term as well. And you can see the sector really that I'm focusing on this up and coming month is fintech and cybersecurity. So I'm super excited to see kind of how the sector pans out. So guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my course, and we will see you guys later. Remember to stay happy, stay positive, and stay safe. Take care, everyone. And I hope you guys really have an amazing rest of your weekend, and we'll probably go live tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Take care.